Oh, hello. Okay, so Amazing Spider-Man 317, one of my favorite McFarlane covers. But the price sticker says it's signed. And there you go. I hit the signature lottery. There it is, the signature lottery. Boop. Thanks for watching another episode. Before we get started on this collection unboxing, I'm going to ask you a favor just to hit like, subscribe if you're not, drop a comment down below after you're done watching the episode, and if you're already subscribed, go to the subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a video or a live stream. So today's unboxing is going to be a two-parter because there are two distinct different parts of this collection. I think that a little explanation is definitely warranted for this. I found an ad on Craigslist, very kind of basic description, 1200 comics, copper, bronze, no photos. I figured, you know what, let me just message this person and see what's going on. I ended up meeting up with this guy at his storage locker, maybe about half hour from my house. He's a little bit older, something definitely wrong with him, as he stated, but didn't state exactly what. And he said he wanted to get his stuff out of storage. The whole ordeal of just getting into the storage locker took about a half hour. I almost gave up, but I stuck it out. He had 9 or 10 short boxes of comics and then 11 magazine boxes. He was very contradictory. He would tell me that he hadn't looked at it in 5 years, but he had pulled some stuff out to sell or to keep. But then he said something like, "Oh, you know, I'm going to sell it. I can always go and buy it again." I'm like, okay, it's kind of a strange, weird mentality to sell thousands of comics and magazines and then say you're going to buy them back, but then also say that you don't have a lot of money. So once again, very contradictory. I was trying not to get into it too much with him. We negotiated on a price. I paid $800 for everything. And so you're going to see me unbox the comics in this video, and then you're going to come back and see me unbox the magazines, because the collection of magazines is all horror-based. So it's very cool, very interesting speculator collection, but kind of in a way that you don't normally see. I don't see too many people specking on magazines. I enjoyed this. I think it's overall a good collection. I'm going to be getting, hopefully, in front of this guy's other stuff soon, which is the stuff that he may not want to sell. But also it feels like this guy kind of changes his mind with the tides. Sit back and enjoy this video, a little in-depth look of how I look at collections and kind of how my thought process is in going into unboxing a collection and what's good and what isn't. All right, I'll see you at the end. Let's see what's on those boxes. The doctor is in. All right, everybody. So now you know the story of how I got this stuff. Why don't we take a look at what's inside these boxes? And because some of the stuff was facing each other, like a comic could be facing this way and this way, I didn't see everything. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna flip through this, and I'm basically just gonna show you like the vibe of each box, and then you'll see it sped up, or you'll see it kind of fade out and come back in, and I'll show you the good stuff in each box. So this looks like a Dark Horse Conan box. Most of these books are not valuable, but there is that Conan one with the topless, there was a topless version. That's a very tough book to find, because even though I think it was polybag, it was still recalled. I know there was stuff that is in here. We're about to hit one of those comics, but I know there was stuff that was taken out. It was kind of weird. He was contradicting himself back and forth on. All right, there we go. We got a first Beta Ray Bill. Unfortunately, this book is long, gone down, even though that book is a legendary book. I'll never fully understand people losing interest in a character just because it's not in a Marvel movie, because the Marvel movies existed way after the characters did. All right, we're on the doorstep of Hulk 340. I don't think there's one in here, but there is some of the See Todd, Buy Todd era of Hulk. 333, a couple copies. That's the other thing about this collection. Multiple copies of books in here. So we've got another copy of 333, and then 3 copies of the first Peter David Hulk, which is also the second Todd McFarlane Hulk, Hulk 331. 1 newsstand and 2 directs. I don't expect there to be any Mark Jewelers in here, but you never know. All right, some Sing to See, yeah. So 338 and 339 are gone, and it just jumps to 341. So 340 is gone out of here. Like I said, but yeah, here we go. We got, 2 copies of 344 and 1 copy of 345. And that was the weird thing. He's like, yeah, I took some stuff out years ago when I last looked at this, and I don't know if I want to sell it. And I'm like, well, let me know what you have. He's like, oh, I might hold on to it. And then the guy tells me, oh, I'm desperate for money. So once again, contradictory. I didn't understand it. Moon Knight #1, sequence. And it looks like the entire Moon Knight runs in here. 2, 3. Nope. Then it jumps to 17 and 18. Then it goes back to 10. So a little disorganized here on what is in here. And that's kind of why I like it. Another copy of 10 and 18. I'm happy to look through a disorganized. I'm happy to buy a disorganized collection. First, Ron Space Knight, Swamp Thing 21. That's I believe this is the first Alan Moore Swamp Thing. 2 copies. Yeah, so this makes no sense. Then it goes to Superman, Batman #1. Oh, and there's another copy of Moon Knight #1, and an X-Men 11 just sitting in the Moon Knight. Jimothy Lee, baby. Yeah, these books don't exactly make sense in the order that they're in. All right, we got the next box. Already just saw a decent book. Oh, okay. Well, I was incredibly wrong. There's a beautiful copy of Hulk 340. All right, well, this is why I bought this collection. Is because I knew there would be some unknown in here. I didn't pay a ton for it. I paid a decent amount, but nothing crazy. And it's already paying off. Silver Surfer 34. We got some Ghost Rider from the Danny Ketch era. Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero. First show, fix it. Electro Assassin #1, sequence. Oh, here we go. We got a Year 1 Part 4. Year 1 Part 2. Yes. Ain't nobody want that book. Every 90s collection has that book. Hey, classic John Byrne cover, Wolverine 17. Looks like an entire full run of Weapon X, which is nice. There's multiple copies of each issue too. I saw that in this box very briefly. I figured the way I look at collections, I kind of skim through it unless it's something that I have to really look at every issue. But skimming through it, I can still see some decent stuff. A couple of G.I. Joes in here. Number 66 and 65. That's actually a customer of mine is going to want that. One of the greater Batman Elseworlds book, Gotham by Gas. Hellraiser #1. Love that book. All right, so second box. I mean, there were some good books, and then there's the first Joe Fix-It, Resurrection of Thanos, Hulk 340, Batman 405 and 407. Still need those other 2 parts of Year 1. I'll take this box and see what's in here and consolidate the boxes. Oh, there we go. First Jim Lee on the X-Men, X-Men 248. All right, so it looks like a run of Uncanny. Ooh. Classic X-Men 251. But maybe there's a first Gambit in here. I'll find out in less than 10 issues. 61. 62. 64. Doesn't mean that it's not in another box. It's just not in this one. More X-Men. No, there we go. First Jubilee. Another classic Silvestri, 234. So we're going down. We're going down, down, baby. Sorry. Oh, there we go. There's the first Gambit if you're counting by publish date. So I thought that maybe this collection was poached, and I don't think it was. The more I looked through it, the more I realized you didn't take out some big books out of here. Or decent books. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #20. I don't know if there's any other TMNT in here, but it would be nice. All right, so that's going to do it for this first, the second and half box. There was one long box in there, and I consolidated a short box and a half into here. So, you know, I mixed some stuff up. All right, we're back to the Uncanny, but it looks like that 275 era. Yeah, there's 275. You know, if you don't know about this book, you know, if you're an X-Men fan that collected the X-Men in the 90s, you know about this book. But for those of you that don't, maybe the best Jim Lee cover of Uncanny X-Men, or his best gatefold. Definitely not as iconic as X-Men #1, but it's hard to disagree with that yellow costume Wolverine. I do like this little custom divider art. All right, I'll look through this while you just sit tight. Now the cool thing about this stuff, it looks like it was like never read and just bagged and boarded. Now we're in House of Secrets. Now, look, this is only issue 153. Now, if it goes backwards, you know, by 60 issues, then you're gonna hear me screaming in my garage. All right, we got a mystery bundle here. Oh, they got the new Fantastic Four, the classic Art Adams, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Hulk, and Spider-Man join the Fantastic Four. That's cool. Classic story if you've never read it. Oh, there's a Punisher #1 newsstand. That's nice. Tales of G.I. Joe #1 newsstand, but not G.I. Joe #1 newsstand. That would have been a lot nicer. Oh, there we go. Another Hellraiser #1 and 2. I always find spec collecting to be interesting because as a kid, I was a speculation collector. I was part of that era, but maybe, you know, there were a couple of books that maybe I owned 2 copies of or 3 copies of, but I never owned like 3 copies of every book that I bought. I couldn't afford that. I just bought the book, you know? Oh, hello. Okay, so Amazing Spider-Man 317, one of my favorite McFarlane covers, but the price sticker on the corner says it's signed. Now, Todd McFarlane and his brother-in-law, which I guess was Wanda's brother, owned a store about 15 miles from here in, Josh, Puyallup, you got it, Josh, called the Spider's Web. A lot of autographed McFarlane books float around this area because of that. And there you go. I hit the signature lottery. There it is, the signature lottery. Boop. Ooh, nice. Hellblazer #1. Okay. Ooh, there we go. Another Hulk 344. Hulk 342. 343. Now, let's see if this is signed. No. I saw this when I flipped through the box. This is pretty cool. Inside Comics #1. I guess it's a price guide, but pretty cool Rob Liefeld Youngblood cover. This is what I didn't do with spec collecting. I didn't buy 4 copies of Ghost Rider #7. But I'm not going to be upset because this person bought at least 2 copies of this. Hey, First Omega Red. Remember when this was $50 during the pandemic? What the fuck? I'm going to take a break. Be right back. Now you're wondering to yourself, hey Dave, where can I get some of these books from you? That's the real question. Every other Wednesday, I do West Coast Wednesdave. It's a live claim sale that's done from my office. I put books up on the wall. They're all priced, they're graded. All you got to do is claim. I sell them to you and I ship them to you. But let's get back to this here. All right, so this box looks to be almost all Conan the Barbarian, which we will speed through. I am only looking, because this is a Copper Age collection, I'm only looking for the McFarlane and the Lee issues, and that's it. And the last Conan issue in the box, or at least that I can see, is the Todd McFarlane issue. Oh, 2 copies. And then it jumps into the Nam, which, I mean, a couple copies of #1, which are nice, and if this indeed is a full run or close to it, at least that's good. Okay, now here's something that I saw. These 2 top loaders here. One is a Swamp Thing #2, and the other one is Warlord. Maybe this is the first appearance of Warlord. Okay, check this. Let's see what's in here. All right, we've got some bags, some boards, and then we've got Marvel Tales. Now, I'd love to get some of that McFarlane era stuff, but this looks to be a little too early for that. We got the Zek one, the Punisher reprint, great cover, and it's a new cover. It's not a reprint cover. So it's all those Zek ones are all new covers that he did for these books, whereas opposed to, you know, that's a Marvel Team Up reprint. Oh, here we go. We got some of the Todd. We got at least 223, and that's it. And then more Daredevil. And the first appearance of Blackheart. That's pretty cool. All right, made quick work of that box. Uh-oh. We got some X-Force #1s. No Deadpool card, but a second appearance of Deadpool. Another second appearance of Deadpool. Another second appearance of Deadpool. Possibly the greatest Rob Liefeld issue of all time. What If Wolverine Was an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #7, Volume 2, has a double-page spread by Liefeld that opens the book, and it is a recreation of basically like a summation of Hulk 181 in a double-page splash. Here we go. I'll take another Turtles. It's the Corbin, one of the Corbin issues. I forget what number this is. 26 maybe? All right, this is the first promising, real promising sign. I doubt it's in here. New Mutants 94. I'm going to guess this guy took out the New Mutants 98. We'll find out. Oh, there's another great book. Marvel Age #90. Todd. See Todd by Todd. See Todd pull Todd. Talk about Todd. 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 Hey, there we go. I knew this was in there, but it looks a lot nicer than what I thought it was. Godzilla #1. I'm done. I retire. There it is. Action Comics #1. It's a reprint. Think I'd be that calm? 2 copies, maybe more, of Alien Predator #1. Looks like it's 2 complete sets of Alien Predator. When you see what else I got in the next episode, you're going to see how well I did. Check out that Venom art on the box. Alright, we got a couple of Punisher Warzone #1s. Yeah, see this makes no sense. It's in a Mylar, and it's a Nom #13. I mean, maybe it's signed. A Nom #5 in the same kind of sleeve. Alright, so we're dipping into the McFarlane era almost. We're at the Larson. Okay, so we're at the end of the McFarlane era. Amazing Spider-Man 325. I'll check to see if any of these are Mark Jewelers, but I haven't seen one yet. Looks like a bunch of copies of every issue of the Assassination Plot. Yeah, that's okay. And then we go back into horror, DC Horror, House of Mystery. What's here is some old Comics Buyer's Guide from 1989. You know, who knows what secrets they hold. Another one from 1989. Previews magazine. This is previews #5. This is before they even had square bound, let alone color covers. Previews #9. And a Entertainment This Month #7 with a Gotham by Gaslight cover. All right, here comes the Amazing Spider-Man run. This is where I kind of realized, and I said something to him. I'm like, oh, you took the 300 out. And he just kind of like didn't realize, I don't know if he understood what I was saying, or the guy was a little off. But it's the McFarlane run, minus 298, 299, 300, 301, and no, I did not see a 316. Okay, but here we go. We have another one, 311, which is arguably my favorite cover. And there we go. Hit the signature lottery again. So I'm assuming at the Spider's Web, you could just buy the book for a little bit more and it would be signed. Yep, there we go. There's another one. 313 signed. 317 signed. 3/18 signed. So this is the greatest autographed Todd McFarlane treasure I've ever found. Awesome. That's great. Fucking great. Ooh, a nice copy of Web #1. Now here's what I thought was pretty cool. And no, this is not for sale. A Spider's Web bag. Shout out to James, Nerdy Musings, who used to work there. Another first Jim Lee X-Men. Doesn't look like, oh, nice. 268, my favorite Jim Lee cover. But it does not look like there's going to be a first Gambit. No X-Men 266 and no first Bishop. People are weird, man. All right, box 4 of 4. There's 3 left after this. Okay, so I knew that this there was going to be a decent key in here, a nice run of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, which, yes, you can imagine what book will be in there. I don't know if there's multiple copies, but it's the first indication. There it is. Oh, it's beat to shit. That's why it's still in here. But a lower grade Swamp Thing 37, first appearance of John Constantine. Yeah, that was my indication that this thing was not completely picked through. But I'm still happy, like I said. First off, getting an entire Alan Moore Swamp Thing run ain't a bad thing, but these Tom McFarlane signed books and some of the other books that I got, it's worth it. All right, here's the first cameo of John Constantine in a newsstand, which is nice. Wouldn't it be killer? There just happened to be a House of Secrets 92 in here. Oh, hello. There's your Amazing Spider-Man 301. Okay, now hope is renewed, and another copy of Web 1. What a weird collection this is. Mind-boggling. All right, we got 3 boxes left now. I know most of this is going to be Bronze Age horror, which I'm not upset about, or at least a lot of it is. But I really don't know what's in here. And here's another copy of New Mutants 94. The only Liefeld copy I've seen in here of New Mutants. Alright, so there's only 1 box after this, and it looks to be the Bronze Age or Copper Age horror. This is all Marvel Comics Presents. Wolverine. We already pulled out the Weapon X, but here's the #1, here's the 72, and then it looks like just another set of complete set of Weapon X here. Oh, here's a full set. Another full set of Year 1. Complete. There we go. What I'm hoping for, and I doubt it because I've got about 2 issues to figure it out, but they're hoping for Batman 423 in here. The Todd cover. And it's not. Funny story. This comic, which is Detective 600, the Danish version or the Norwegian version, my mom and dad brought it back for me when they were on a trip in Norway. I guess it must have been when I was like 10 or so, something like that. And then I still have that comic in my collection. My first foreign variant. Oh, yay. Another Robin #1. Oh, yay, look. Another Robin #1. Oh, yay, look. Another Robin #1. All right. Final short box of comics. House of Mystery. It says it on the front of this box here. So we start at 180. Now, unfortunately, there's no House of Secrets labeled, but you never know. Now we're getting some rights and stuff. There's a rights and cover. House 204. Oh, hell yeah. Not 1 copy, but 2 copies of House of Mystery 195, which is arguably one of the most popular Bernie Wrightson books besides House of Secrets 92. Late, early bronze House of Mystery or mid-bronze. This is the first time I've ever bought a collection that had entire House of Mystery box. 206. 2 copies of House of Mystery 207. Another Wrightson, House of Mystery 211. Oh, there's another copy of that right there. Oh yeah, another classic right here. 236. Issue number 255. 2 copies of that. That's Wrightson. Oh yeah, another one. 2 copies of 256. Wrightson. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this could be kind of nuts here. Because I got Secrets of the Sinister House number 7. Oh, man, House of Secrets 97. Ooh, there's the MC Escher. Mike Kaluta homaging MC Escher, which Katsuhiro Otomo eventually homaged House of Secrets 99. 106 Wrightson cover, so if there was a 92 in here, it's most likely long gone. 101 and 102. If you're playing along on the West Coast Davengers episode by episode guide, in the last month and a half or 2 months, I have come this close to getting a House of Secrets 92 in a collection. I got a 93 and a 94, and you just saw what else I got. So it'll happen eventually. As Other Dave says, those books are out there. And who knows, this guy might still have it. And if he does, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking buy it from him. He'll be like, look, I know you got that book. How much money do you need? Oh, that's right. I forgot this was in there. Speaking of Katsuhiro Otomo, Akira number 1 and Akira number 2. A nice copy, too. You didn't say the magic word. And then the final book in this box of comics is House of Secrets number 241. We're going to do one more bonus box because, as you'll see in the next episode, and as you heard at the beginning, the rest of the stuff I bought, which is just sitting off camera, is 6, 9, 10 magazine boxes, and it's like, it might be a complete run of Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, and if that number 1's in there, that's huge. This box, he said I could take it. He said it was like his, I guess, reader copies of magazines, and I spied a couple comics in here, so I'll unbox this as kind of like a teaser to the next episode. So that's the Seattle Post Intelligencer from 2009, 2 copies of that. Let's see what else we got. This is like all different stuff. This is from the Coke Warehouse in Brooklyn. Rolling Stone magazine. I guess this is when George Harrison died. Famous Monsters issue 110 beat up copy. Famous Monsters 160 beat up copy. So these are like I said, reader copies. 109. Because when you see the condition of those magazines, you're gonna think that I maybe went into a time machine. 168. All right, a couple coverless. This is all magazines. This is a cool one. This is definitely in there in great condition. All right, so what do we have here? We got a House of Mystery number 202. House of Mystery number 215. Ugh. Internal Warrior number 11. Tribe number 1. Shout out Big Phil. And Predator Magnus the Robot Fighter 1. That may be the only comics that are in here, but I'll just go quickly through this and see. Oh, Lord. I'm rich. Brigade number 4. Oh, that's cool. Voltron number 3. And a Youngblood Yearbook number 1. Rudy Giuliani, the Person of the Year. That didn't age so well. Some Richard Corbin. Jeremy Brute, I don't know this. It's beat up, but it's Corbin. All right, what are we thinking here? Porn or horror mags? Oh, that's cool. Video Times, a free magazine with Hunt for Red October. Pacific Northwest Con number 1. Chris Warner, Mark Verdenheim, Dennis Beauvais. I wonder, I think I actually have a program for this. New Comics Want List. You know, it's funny, ASM 298, 299 are on here, but 300 isn't. That means he did have one. Bill Sienkiewicz art. Ooh, comic book artists. Here's a list of comic book artists. Todd McFarlane, Bernie writes it. We probably would have been friends. He put together Corbin. his own like Corbin zines. This is awesome. There it is. This crazy unboxing. Now back to me. Thanks for watching that. I'm really happy with this. A lot of this stuff is kind of going into the inventory. Some of it is going into the PC. I'm going to keep a couple of those McFarlane autographs, and you'll be probably able to buy at least one or two of them. So come back next week for the second part of this unboxing, the famous monsters of Filmland magazines and all that cool stuff that's in there. I discovered a little bit more about his collecting habits and the artists that he likes. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and check out my podcast Direct Edition. The links are down below for that. So I'll see you next week on the West Coast Unboxing. Davenger Guy. Garage time with my friend Davengers. Look at this comic.